So we at SmartNews Proxy usually review streaming devices like Chromecast, Fire TV Stick, and what have you. But today, we thought we'd compare all the most popular ones, starting with Chromecast and then Fire TV Stick, along with NVIDIA Sheild TV, maybe even throw Mi Box in there, and of course, Apple TV. Hi, I'm Vamsi, and if you're confused as to which one to buy because there's so many of them, I'm here to help you make that decision. So let's start with Google Chromecast first, because it's the first one ever, and I used to recommend it to many people back in the day, but I don't anymore.
Sure, you can cast YouTube, Netflix, and even Prime videos now from your phone to like a bigger screen, but it still doesn't come with a dedicated remote. So for simple stuff like pause, play, fast forward, you need to use your phone, without which you can't control your Chromecast at all. Even with the latest Chromecast 3, there's no interface or dedicated apps or games like you can get for other streaming devices, say Android TV Box and others. And on top of that, Google DNS is hard-coded into the device, so if you're already a SmartDNS Proxy customer, you'd know how difficult it is to set up our service in it to bypass geo restrictions like Netflix or Hulu.
Yeah, I know. Most of you will say that Chromecast beats every other device in terms of screen mirroring.
And while that's true, most Android TV boxes like Mi Box and Sheild TV, even official Android TV, come with Chromecast built in.
In a nutshell, Chromecast was a big deal in the past, but at the moment there's better options like Fire TV Stick that comes with its own remote and its own operating system. Speaking of Fire TV Stick, there's both the old and the new one that supports 4K, and I recommend the new one because obviously 4K.
This one, unlike the previous version, not only supports 4K, it also gives you HDR and Dolby Atmos, but the remote also has the volume control and power buttons that were missing in the previous one. Unlike Chromecast, it not only has the remote but also has a dedicated operating system, which shows you the apps that you can download from the App Store, and if the Amazon App Store is not sufficient, you can always sideload Android apps like Kodi, File Manager, etc. If you want to know how, we have a detailed video on that, so check that one. You can even connect your Fire TV Stick with Bluetooth headphones or even earphones like AirPods, so they can enjoy your show without bothering anyone else. But the cool thing about the Fire TV Stick is that you can connect external USB stuff, like mouse, keyboard and etc., or by using a USB OTG cable. So basically you get most features on Fire TV Stick from the Fire TV Stick itself. Finally, Amazon added support for screen mirroring in Fire TV Stick 4K, so it's all good now. Yes, it isn't as smooth as Chromecast, but it still works. Else you can use apps like AirScreen to get extra mirroring option from Windows or Mac.
Overall, I recommend getting a Fire TV Stick to most people because it's got everything: 4K, HDR, Dolby Atmos, and you can even sideload Android apps. But if you're one of those people who doesn't like doing that, you can just go with an Android TV. Speaking of Android TV, well, there's so many rip-offs of Android TVs on Amazon. We did do a video on it before, but the short version is, many Android TV boxes sold on Amazon are really fake mobile versions that are set to bigger screens. The only two that I'd recommend is Mi Box and Sheild TV. Okay, look at this. We've got both Sheild TV 2017 and the latest 2019 version. I'll do a detailed comparison video on both of them pretty soon, so subscribe if you want to keep an eye out for that. Moving on.
Here's a side-by-side comparison of authentic Android TV versus cheap Android TV box. And as you can see, the cheap Android TV box is running a ported version of a mobile Android. And there's the mobile version of the Google Play Store on a cheap Android TV box. Overall, it's a nightmare, and you should totally avoid them. The authentic Android TV comes with a dedicated Google Play Store which has all the apps that are optimized for the TV. Look at how smooth the interface is. You can download apps like Kodi, change your launcher, or even get free streaming apps. Links for all of that will be in the description below, by the way. Of course, like Fire TV Stick, it supports changing DNS and connecting to Bluetooth headphones. But what Fire TV Stick doesn't have is Google Assistant and games. Games are one of the real reasons to choose Android TV over Fire TV Stick. You can even connect a PS4 controller to play them on your TV. It's quite cool. Some TVs come with Android TV OS baked into them, like Mi TV, TCL, etc. You can consider them if you have no other option.
So yeah, if you're an Android fan and like to game a little bit, go with the Android TV. but even that's kind of an overkill. In that case, if you want something more simpler, just go with the Roku. Now Roku comes with a bunch of options, starting with a simple Roku stick to Roku box to a Roku TV. I mean, this is not what a TV looks like. But in this video, we'll be looking at the Roku streaming stick, which should hold true for any other Roku device.
The Roku stick looks kinda similar to the Fire TV stick. The Roku remote is missing the volume and the power buttons, but it's included in the most mid and high range Roku devices. Although, Roku remote does miss out on the voice search like you get Alexa on Fire TV stick. I mean, you can set up Siri shortcuts on Roku using your iPhone like we've covered before. But what I like about Roku is the interface. It's simple and you have all the apps you need right in front of you.
So yeah, the way I see it, Roku is more suitable for older people, and it's not just geriatrics. If you want things simple and just effective, Roku is the way to go. And finally, coming back to the Apple TV, I mean, it's the most expensive one out of these. I mean, of course, it's a premium device and it's Apple, so it's going to be expensive.
Because it does everything that the other streaming devices do, but better. I mean, look at its sleek glass remote, and the apps are well optimized for the TV interface. And you can even play 4K content, which is pretty great. But there are two things that the Apple TV can do and no one else can. One, of course, is the sync between the Apple devices. For example, if you lose your Apple TV remote, you can use your iPhone or even your Apple Watch. You know, if you're already in the Apple ecosystem, Apple TV is probably the best and the only one that you would want to buy. And the second reason why I recommend Apple TV is for gaming. Now that you can connect your PS4 or Xbox controller with Apple TV for Apple Arcade, the potential is endless. There are already many Apple TV games that support a controller, but Apple Arcade, that's just awesome.
If you ask me, Apple TV is well worth it, especially if you've got an iPhone or any other Apple product. And with the Apple Arcade around, it's definitely worth the price, if you ask me. So let's wrap this up. I do not recommend the Chromecast because you can get an Android TV that comes with a Chromecast, a TV remote, and an interface that Chromecast just doesn't have. So yeah, Roku and Fire TV Stick are relatively good options. But if you want something more simple and just easy to use, Roku is the way to go. And Fire TV Stick, well, you can tinker stuff with it, add apps and sideload stuff and do whatever you want with it. God knows what you do, but you can do whatever you want with it. And finally, Apple TV, which is the best among all of them. And it's quite expensive, but it's well worth it considering there's an Apple ecosystem. And as always, I'm Vamsy, thanks for watching and subscribe because I've got a wife and kids and I need to feed them. That's a lie. See you in the next one.